It's very interesting that you brought that point up, Abhijit ji, because already the world is talking about whom to blame for the current crisis in Afghanistan. President Joe Biden is standing his ground and says that this is important for America, that it pulls out on time, and that there is a transitional government there, and the democratic government has to be in power. But again, we've moved on from there, and different developments have taken place. Now, a lot of the Democrats are also blaming President Donald Trump because he's the one who initiated the Doha peace process. How will this play out in domestic American polity?
Look, the Doha peace process might have been initiated by Trump, but it was set in motion way before by the Barack Obama-Biden administration when they started off with this good Taliban, bad Taliban. Ultimately, Doha was just a formal manifestation of what had been happening for a very long time out there, right? Number one. Number two, Trump had a withdrawal plan and everybody attacked him for it. But when Biden came up with a much more radical plan, which essentially just believed whatever the Taliban said, there was no trust but verify mechanism on the ground. Biden bears the entire responsibility for this. I mean, the man was so clueless. There is his video from exactly 1 month back, slightly more than 1 month back, 8th of July, where he's saying Afghan forces are the best in the world. There are 300,000 of them. They are equipped. They are not going to fall. So, you know, there is the kind of delusional, and it was a cyclic delusion, because the leadership in America believed it. The intelligence agencies were giving the same input and things like that. I mean, Biden didn't pull these numbers out of thin air. You know, obviously, it was fed to him. The man is too demented to be able to come up with these numbers himself. I don't think he even knows what he had for breakfast. That's how short a memory he has. So it's you blame it on the president who presided over it. And in this case, it was Biden. He has been in power now for over 6 months. This is squarely on him.
Right. Abhijit ji, you have traveled extensively across Afghanistan, and I will end with this question. And you also said that in the rural parts where we are supposed to travel, because most of the journalists limit themselves to Kabul and say, hey, we've gotten an experience of Afghanistan. And I also plead guilty because I went through the same experience. But you also make a very interesting point. You say that outside the urban centers of population, the Taliban actually enjoys a big mandate. Could you explain to our viewers on why you believe so and some of your experiences from your on-ground travel in Afghanistan?
Right. So, see, the thing is, we look at the Taliban as an organization. I wouldn't say they enjoy a mandate, but the Taliban are the Afghan people. They are not special Afghan people from Mars. You know, so if you look at all these World War movies and World War narratives, they won't say the Germans committed atrocities. The Germans didn't commit the Holocaust, the Nazis did. Who were the Nazis? Were they extraterrestrials from Mars? Nazis were Germans. The German people voted for Hitler. I mean, Hitler was democratically elected. So the Taliban are Afghan people. You go even in cities, you know, all this sophisticated women's rights nonsense, LGBTQ rights nonsense that you hear on TV, which people love hearing about because it, you know, satisfies their own self-image of themselves. That is less than 1% of the Afghan population. Even in cities themselves, you know, the standard answer I used to keep getting was, what do you mean by Taliban? Why do you talk about them being separate? They are us, we are them. The only complaints I had were in Shia areas like Herat. And even there, their thing was, why did they come and kill us? We believe in the same things. You go to village Afghanistan where there is absolutely no government authority and things like that. The treatment of women and things like that is their lived reality out there. So the Taliban is bringing nothing new out there. Right. And the other thing is the Taliban has a very swift justice resolution system. Unlike the Afghan government, which bureaucratized everything and was corrupt as hell. So you had to pay money and you still won't get your justice at the end of the day. So it was, you know, the swiftness, the easy binaries of the Taliban, combined with the fact that the Taliban were them, they were speaking the local language, they followed the local customs, no change. So, you know, there was this distinction It simply didn't exist. When you go talk about Ashraf Ghani or Hamid Karzai to average Afghans, they just don't give a crap. Like, I never saw a portrait. You'll see lots of portraits of Ghani up on billboards and things. But you know who the people are supporting, because they all put pictures of who they love on their cars. Not all, but a lot of them do. Mind you, in Taliban areas, I saw lots of cars, in fact, more in Taliban areas, that I saw lots of cars with images of former President Najibullah.
Right.
Same Najibullah that Taliban had executed for collaboration with the Soviet Union. I found none of Karzai and I found none of Ghani. And that itself should tell you a lot. So like I said, basically taking a champagne swigging socialite out of New York, pretending to be a great statesman and just parachuting them into a rigged election in Kabul was never going to work. So let's keep our minds open about the Taliban, because even the Taliban is matured. Now, will they fall back on their own ways, on their old ways? Yes, there is that possibility. But personally, I would just wait and watch.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.